Yeah, here we go now, baby. Welcome to the Covers NBA show for Tuesday, March 24th. My name is Joe Osborne. That guy right there is the magic ass man, John Metler, hitting on some assist props for us there last night. So light night in the NBA, just 4 games. So we still have 5 total bets that we love for the program today. Before we get into those, let's recap what we did yesterday. Very successful show. 4-1 overall combined, but John and I combined to go 4-0. Sweet boys, sweet boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when we come for you, sweet boys? It's been a while since we've done that. Hopefully we can do that a lot more down the stretch of the regular season here. So I go 2-0 with my bets. 2 of the easiest wins I will have all season. The Hawks win by 39. The Blazers were up by 28 at half, so no sweat whatsoever there. 2-0 for John. A couple assist props come through for him, plus money assist props as well. The quickly one was a scratch because he did not end up playing. And the Covers.com 5-star did not join the sweet party. Way off on GG Jackson, unfortunately. But John, any big takeaways from your 2-0 night last night?
Yeah, I saw Paolo Banchero. It was like third quarter, and you check the box score, and he had 6, and you're like, boom, hit the plus money. And then the dreaded, you go back, and now it says 5, and you're like, oh man, like it's a close game. There's still 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. You know he's gonna get in the game. You know he's gonna have high usage. Like you should be able to get one more, but still, there's nothing worse than like you think you already won. You go back, you see the stat correction, and then it's down to 5. He ultimately finished with 6. Reed Shepard, I was very nervous about it because the Bulls jumped out to a huge lead on the Rockets. Then you're kind of worried about minutes and stuff, but he gets there too. He gets to 6 assists.
Okay, then. That's yesterday. Let's get into today, and let's start things off with my trend of the night in the NBA. And this one is to support the Orlando Magic, a big underdog, 10.5 points in Cleveland. What is going on here? You can't trust the Cavaliers as a big favorite. So this season, the Cavaliers are 6-21-1 against the spread when favored by 7 or more points. And they do have a big rest advantage here in this game, but that has not mattered for them this season. They're an NBA worst 3-10 against the spread when playing with a rest advantage. Don't sweat the back-to-back spot here for the Magic. They're 3-1 against the spread in their last 4 back-to-back situations. So no doubt about it here, John. A really tough stretch for the Magic. They've lost 5 straight games. And I'm thinking that loss last night to the Pacers, one of the worst of the season, that's going to be a serious wake-up call for them coming into this game. They're slipping in the standings quite a bit, now into the play-in, down to 8th in the Eastern Conference. So they can't use that tough schedule as an excuse to relax coming into this game. Now, statistically, you look at these teams over the last 10 games, not really a whole lot separating them. 11th versus 14th in net rating. Earlier in the month, these teams played. We saw Orlando beat the Cavs by 6 in that game. So I don't know if they can win this one outright. I definitely think that they can hang around. I think a lot of people might look at this 10.5 point spread and you might think trap. But if it is a trap, I'm willing to walk right into it here. I do think it is too many points and maybe a little bit of recency bias here against the Magic. So I think that they can, be competitive at the very least in this one. You're a Magic fan. What do you think of this bet? What do you think of this spread here tonight?
Yeah, it jumped out, and we grabbed them. I grabbed the Magic. Was it last week on the second night of back to back? It was kind of same. It was against the Thunder too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where you're like, it felt like the same vibe where they were giving them too many points. I felt like the back to back was too much of a factor in that game, and I feel like the back to back is probably too much of a factor in this one as well. Especially when you're talking about where the Magic are in the standings. Like you said, they're in the 8-9 slot now. Like they need to win. You need to get back up. They were sitting in the 5 there for a while for the Eastern Conference. So these games are meaningful. They're not going to give them away. And they have a rivalry with the Cleveland Cavaliers, a little mini rivalry. They played in the playoffs, and Desmond Bane was up in people's faces last time they played. So I wouldn't expect them to lie down and not, 10.5 is a lot of points when you're going to have some fight to you.
Indeed. Okay, 2 picks for John here. Let's start things off in New York City. I have a pick to kind of contradict this one a little bit. They both can win, absolutely. But let's start with yours. You're taking the Knicks favored by 8.5 points against the Pelicans.
Yeah, I think that's two things really stood out to me here for this, or multiple things, but I think the one matchup is they're starting Herb Jones at the center position. He's a great defender. He's 6'7". The problem is against Karl Anthony Towns, not sure that plays. If you're going against, a smaller front court that doesn't really have a guy who can score at the center position, I think you get away with it. But now Karl Anthony Towns is going to pull him out to the perimeter, space the floor. I think it's just going to open up driving lanes for someone like Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, and those guys. So I think that matchup, also you're bringing Mitchell Robinson off the bench for offensive rebounds, and you don't really have a center. So I think that's concerning. I think OG Anunoby is a good matchup for Zion Williamson. So you kind of have a defender who can take away the bulk of their offense there too. And lastly, if it does get into like that fourth quarter and say the Knicks are up by like 14, the starters aren't really in the game, I love that probably Jose Alvarado is in the game to close us out. He used to play for the Pelicans. You feel like someone he'll keep the tempo high, put the foot on the gas, and kind of stop that backdoor cover when you're talking about an 8.5 point spread. So give me the Knicks there on the spread.
Okay, I'll have a little bit of a counter to that in a moment, but let's get to your second pick first. You've been hot to start the week, obviously, with these assist props. Your bread and butter, Jokic, 12.5 assists, plus money, plus 128 against the Phoenix Suns. Why do you like this one tonight?
Yeah, it's 12 plus, so he just needs 12 to hit this one. It looks like a massive number, but I think it's kind of speaks to Jokic how great of a passer he is. You're talking about 12 plus to hit this number, and I think that's priced wrong. I think it could be higher. You're looking at this. I think this is more specifically about the Phoenix Suns here. You look at how Jordan Knott has decided to guard him already this year. They faced him twice. He's given up 19 potential assists per game. He's had 12.5 assists in those games. So there's right on the number. So obviously they're turning him into a passer. And then you look even further at the matchups and you're like, Mark Williams, the center, is out. Oso Iguodala, the backup, will be on him. You can't guard Jokic with Iguodala just straight up. You have to send help. It's going to open up passing lanes to other guys. And Dylan Brooks, again, he's out. So that's someone who might stop potential assists from converting. So you just I like all the matchups. 12 seems like a big number, but plus 128, I think it's a great price for 12 plus assists.
Okay, let's go back to that game at Madison Square Garden, the Pelicans and 10. I'm going to take the Pelicans to cover the first half spread plus 5 in this one. So why do I like this one, and why do I like the first half? Allow me to explain. Well, the Knicks have been getting off to really bad starts here, guys. They are 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 first halves at home. You check out net rating in the first half, and the Pelicans are actually getting off to better starts here, 16th versus 19th over the last 10 games. They're also better in first half point differential in that span. Pelicans are playing really good ball right now, really stepping up on the defensive end. All the big dogs expected to be in the lineup here tonight. But why do I like just the first half? Well, the Pelicans are a team that starts fast and they kind of finish slow. Whereas next, they get off to these slow starts, yes, but over the past couple of weeks, by a lot of different metrics, they are the number one second half team in the NBA. So I could see a situation where things are close at half, and then in the second half, the Knicks put their foot on the gas and maybe go on to win by double digits. But I'm hoping things will stay close at the half here. I'll take the Pelicans to keep things close, plus 5 in the first half. Okay, the Covers 5-star projection of the day. Looking to get back on track here tonight. G.G. Jackson went off last night. I like this one. DeMar DeRozan under 5.5 assists is what the model is projecting tonight. So why do I like it? Well, he's in Charlotte taking on the Hornets. This game has a 17-point spread. And DeRozan's been all over the place with his assists here lately. He's coming off an 8-assist game, but he has 4 games this month where he's had 2 or fewer assists. So he's all over the map. Who knows if he's going to get a full allotment of minutes here. Massive spread in this game. John, assist props are your bread and butter. What do you think of this one? DeRozan going under potentially.
Yeah, 5.5 is a big number for DeRozan. I have him pigeonhole as like 4.5 is kind of where he should be. 3.5 is where you start to look at his numbers to attack the over, and then 5.5, it definitely shows to under. It's just not who he is. I think you look at his, like you're talking about, he has some big assist games recently, which have obviously pushed that up to 5.5. But you also go through his box scores, his minutes have flatlined in a bunch of games. So there's also that potential that they're not really trying to play him for a bunch of minutes. And like you said, 17-point spread. This is easily a game that gets away from them. They're on the road across the country. And DeRozan, I could see this being one where he plays 25 minutes, and this 5.5 is way too high.
Okay, John, no big headlines to discuss today, but let me throw this at you. You live and breathe the NBA like no one else. I know you're grinding Wizards tape every night. You're grinding Kings tape, watching Nets tape, digging through the box scores. So let me ask you, as someone who's obsessed with this, what's something that's been on your radar over the past couple of weeks that the casual fan might not be noticing?
Yeah, let's give a shout to the center in Portland because I feel like that's Donovan Clingan because I feel like that's a
Yes.
guy you don't really hear about in the media, and people probably don't watch too many Portland games that are out on the West Coast. And he's a 22nd year center, 21-year-old from UConn. And I was watching him against Denver, and he's going against Jokic, and like he's a great rebounder, rim protector, all that. There was no question marks about his defense, his basketball IQ when he came on the draft. It was more about his offense. And you kind of would see tapes of him shooting in a gym. You're like, can he shoot it? He didn't shoot it at UConn. He's taking over three threes a game, shooting over 33% on those. And like I was watching against Jokic, he's 4 for 7 from deep. You're a 21-year-old center who can protect the rim, play really good defense, and now you're showing the ability to step out and knock down threes. And the jumper looks smooth. Like if you watch it in person, they were nice jump shots, and you're like, man, this guy has a huge future in the NBA. I think the Trailblazers have one of the better young centers moving forward. I think in the NBA, it's very important your center is either a rim protector and a lob threat, or a guy who can space the floor. And if you're a rim protector who can space the floor and you're a lob threat, you're an elite center. And I think Donovan Clingan is trending that way. Definitely watch. Donovan Clingan is going to be a great player in the NBA.
There you go. Great observation by John, a future all-star perhaps. You're not going to get a take like that on First Take. You're only going to find that here on the Covers NBA show. Okay, let's recap the picks from today. Two each. I like a couple underdog spots here. The Magic plus 10.5 full game in Cleveland. I like the Pelicans first half plus 5 in New York. John's kind of going the other way. Both of these can cash, absolutely. He likes next full game minus 8.5. He likes Jokic 12 plus assists plus money against the Suns. And the Covers 5-star projection of the day, DeMar DeRozan under 5.5 assists. Okay, that does it for today. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. Hopefully we put together another winning show for you guys today. Enjoy all the games tonight. Best of luck with your bets. We'll see you again tomorrow.